Pardon me. Thank you for watching our videos that are associated with our blog. Our blog is called A Georgetown Table and can be found on the internet at ageorgetown.blogspot.com. Today we're making French fries, twice cooked French fries, and we have already done a blog post on this, but I don't think there was an accompanying video, so I wanted to show you how we do it. The most important part of the frying process, besides the fryer and oil itself, is the type of potato to choose. We're a big proponent of the russet for its consistency. It's also the French fry that most restaurants use. We tend to use a lot of Yukon Gold in many of our other recipes, but for this recipe, we're a big fan of the russet. We will also, while you can do this recipe without peeling these potatoes, I have 3 kids who prefer the potatoes to be peeled, and so we will peel them before we fry them. And this is our deep fryer, which is simply a large Dutch oven that we have filled halfway up with vegetable oil, and then we also have a thermometer here to monitor the temperature of the oil. The twice cooked French fry requires a par cooking at 325 degrees for about 10 minutes, and then a final fry after the potatoes have come out and the oil is reheated, a final fry at 375 to crisp up the exterior. We reuse this oil and keep this pot on the pot full of oil covered on the stovetop at all times, not because we do a lot of deep frying, but because storing about a quart and a half of oil is hard to do, and if we can keep it dark and covered, then we reduce the chances of it going rancid, and then the pot is ready to go at all times. We do filter the oil after each use, but the oil stays functional for quite a few fryings, and because we do fry some things probably once every couple of weeks, it's a good way of preserving the oil and recycling it. Now on to the potatoes and cutting the potatoes. One of the reasons why we can do French fries on a more regular basis, which of course my kids love, and frankly, selfishly I love, is because we went out and invested in this machine here. It's a professional French fry cutter. What it is there's a levered plunger that pushes the potato through this cutter, and out of the cutter comes perfectly coiffed potatoes. This particular die makes potatoes with the dimensions about like a McDonald's French fry. We have another cutter to make them a little larger, but today we're going to try it with the thinner potatoes. This is not a cheap machine. I think it's about $65 if you go on the blog site. I'll put a link to it there. It comes with these suction pads, which helps keep it planted to most countertops. But it does make the art of cutting potatoes not only uniform, but a heck of a lot easier. I'm not suggesting you go out and buy one of these. We're nuts, and so we did. And we've been very happy with the investment. And it's one of those things that if you have it, you'll use it, and if you don't have it, you'll never make homemade French fries. There are other French fry makers out there, and you can also use a mandolin, but this is really a single-purpose tool that gets the job done right. So let's make some French fries. I put a plate here at the end of the plunger to catch the fries, and I'm just simply going to stick a potato in the cutter and pull the lever forward. It takes a little elbow grease. Oops. And there you have McDonald's size French fries. We're going to put these in a water bath and let them soak. What the water bath does is it washes off the exterior starch, and it also keeps them from browning, and so we can keep them and hold them until we're ready to cook them. So we'll just go through. We've got 4 potatoes here. That'll absolutely feed a family of, our family of 5, with some leftovers to go. And these are very large potatoes. Again, we notice we also, we did peel them. Sorry about that. So we've soaked our fries, and we've actually changed the water multiple times. Actually, this is not the whole batch of fries. This is just about a handful, the first batch we're going to do. We're heating the we're heating the vegetable oil up right now in our deep fat fryer. But one of the things you'll notice is I've actually soaked this in a salad spinner. And what we're going to do is we're going to empty out all this water, and then we're going to spin the fries, take the fries for a spin in the spinner, and empty it out a couple of times, agitate the fries. What we want to do is put the fries in as dry as possible into our deep fat fryer, because when those fries hit the fryer, that water will evaporate quickly, the water on the exterior, and the oil will bubble, and we don't want it to bubble over, especially because we're using a gas stove. And if it bubbles over, this could be a disaster. So we're going to be doing all of this frying in batches because it's safer. We have a fire extinguisher nearby just in case, but we're going to take these for a spin, and then we'll introduce them to the fryer for the first fry at 325. Our oil is now heated to 325. We have it on high temperature because when we add these fries to the oil temperature will fall, and it will foam up or bubble up. So be careful. That bubbling is due to the water on the surface of the fries and on the interior of the fries starting to evaporate thanks to the high heat of the oil. After that initial bubble up, you can turn the heat back on to high. The temperature is actually dropped now to 260 degrees. That's okay. As long as it stays above 220, which is around 212 is where water evaporates or water boils. What we want to do is we want to keep the pressure on the water within the fry to keep pushing out. That will keep the fry from absorbing oil. And again, because we're just par frying this right now, it's unlikely in this batch that we'll see the oil rise much above 300 degrees now. We're going to turn our timer on for 10 minutes. And we will agitate these fries occasionally. And 10 minutes is a guide. It's not gospel. But we'll be able to check out the exterior of the fry. And once we start to see it start to crust over a little bit, that'll be our signal that it's time to take them out. So our fries have been actually frying at 325, or actually slightly lower than that after we added them, for about 8 minutes. And I'm not sure you can see, but there is a certain slight crust being formed on them, which tells me it's time to pull them out. So we're going to pull them out, put them on a sheet pan. This little device here is called a spider. It's a Chinese tool, but it's also a great tool for doing any kind of frying. I'll try to get each one of these fries out, even the ones that have snuck behind the thermometer. Again, we're doing this in batches. So at this point, since we've par-cooked them, these fries can now sit out, and we'll do the rest of the batches. But the important thing is these fries can now sit out and they won't brown. They can sit out and just stay here at this stage for over an hour until we decide to do the final. Let me show you the fries. So they can sit out there until we fry the final batch, or until we want to fry the final batch at the 375 level. It's sort of the final fry. I mean, you can eat these now. They're a little wilted. They don't really taste very good. They taste sort of exactly like they are undercooked French fries. But they do have a skin on them. And what we'll do in the next fry is that at 375, that 375 fry will firm up that skin, leave a nice fluffy interior. Then we'll salt them, and they'll taste just like your favorite Belgian fries. Our oil is up to temperature for the second fry. We have some fries here that we've parboiled. We're going to do this, as the French say, à la minute, just before service. And so we're not going to do a full batch. This is going to be a single serving. And we're going to add that to the oil. And this will go very quickly. We're going to agitate the fries. This is where personal preference comes in, how dark you like your fries. But that hot oil is crusting up that exterior while leaving the interior fluffy and reheated. You can see the fries start to stiffen up as well. Another indicator that the exterior is getting crusty. And you can see that's just about all we're going to cook these. We're going to take them out. You can drain these on a cookie sheet. We're going to put them straight into the bowl. Turn off our oil, because that's very dangerous. We're now going to lightly salt our fries while they're still warm. And there you have delicious twice-cooked French fries that your kids will love. But more importantly, you will love. You want some, Will?
Sure.
How are they?
Oh, great.
Good. Thank you for watching our little video on how to cook French fries with the twice cook method. If you want more details about some of the equipment we've used or some of the detailed descriptions of the frying process, please go to our blog. Our blog is a georgetowntable.blogspot.com. Thanks very much.